A very good morning to you and welcome to North Hobart Oval for this Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final between the Southern Storm and the Hobart Tigers. My name is Tubes Taylor and I'm very excited to be here today. We're in for a real treat. 3 absolute ripping games coming to you live on the SFL YouTube. And I'm very excited to get the Colts underway thanks to Banjos Rosny. I'm joined in the commentary box by my good friend Aaron Peach Roberts. Peach, great to have you in the box.
Thanks, Tubes. Really excited to be here. Very excited to be here, Tubes. Look, I'm really interested in this game. I've seen Southern Storm. They were very effective last year in very different conditions up at Abbotsfield. Hobart have come from the long way around and they got beaten convincingly a couple of weeks ago, and they haven't really got close to that dominant team from southern Tasmania, and they'll be up against it today and are very confident. Had a chat to a couple, and there they are, some of the Hobart guys getting ready, having their photo, swipe the hair across their face. Got to look spot on, don't they?
Love it, Peach. And we can see one of the big bodies defenders down there, Riley Jones, with a flowing mullet, shoulders strapped up. I'm sure they're ready to go. A couple of players to watch out here today. David Monk's number 60. He's one of the stars from Hobart. Another one, Luke Kroon, who played very well. Had a quiet game the other week, did James. No, James Burke played quite well. Jared Smith is the one I was interested in watching last week. Last time we saw them down at Signet in the second semi. Southern Storm rather. They're a real handful. They've got one bloke out there by the name of Cam Walt who's kicked 100 goals this season already. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Yeah,
it's really interesting. For me, they feel like a school team. They're a very close, really connected group. Obviously, they've got a few kids from further down in Geeveston and also in that tight community in Signet. But it's a really good run footy club. They've also got a few lads have come through from the Channel area too, and they're bonded together. They're a really connected group. The issue, I think, on a grand final, on a ground like this, is the ability for the Storm to kick goals. That's what missed out last year in the grand final, where they came in as raging favourites against Lindisfarne. They don't want to be. They've got to make sure they get goals early and get a start and get their confidence. Because if Hobart hang around for a little while, I reckon they'll get a bit of belief, Hobart, that they've got the momentum because they played effectively last week.
I know it's a cliche, mate, but anything can happen on the last day in September, isn't it?
Well, it's not quite the last day, is it?
Well, you know, the last day of the season in September.
Yeah, totally. And two-horse race, isn't it? I mean, you watched the NTFA Grand Final last week, and Bracknell came from 4th. We're actually not even favourites. They were only favourites for the first game of the finals, and for the rest of the finals, they were rank outsiders for every single game they played. And in the end, they easily won the grand final. So you don't want to go through. They've lost one game all year, the Storm.
Yeah.
They don't want to make it 2.
No, that's right. This is the one that counts. As I said, players to watch out here today for the Southern Storm. Cam Walter, who has kicked 102 goals after kicking 3 last time in this game against Hobart. Lockie Carmichael running off the half-back and ducks through the middle. But the big fella that I love watching him, D'Artagnan Bantic. He wears the stack hat. You can see him there, the helmet on. A nice ginger mullet flowing out the back. I went and gave him a pat on the back before the game. And that boy right there on screen in the stack hat that we can see, he is rock hard. He has a body like granite, that boy. Now, what I love about this is they've got every single player on their list down there. A couple of boys are injured that we can see in the hoodies and the jeans.
It's nice,
great
isn't it?
To see them.
Once again, this is that camaraderie. Look, all footy clubs are great. Let's be clear.
100%.
But there's something likeable about this Southern Storm Junior Club.
5 grand finals in a row.
Yeah.
They've only won 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That was last year. So 2 years ago, they lost here, didn't they? I think it was one in the last game of They played like late, didn't they? Over night time. They kind of got done in the dew and was surprised by that.
Right, we'll chuck over to Brent Costello for the Australian National Anthem.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Hobart Oval for the 2021 Colts Grand Final between the Southern Storm and Hobart. I'd like to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting today, the Muwanina people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Would you please be upstanding for the National Anthem of Australia?
Well, Peachy, if that doesn't get your hair standing up on the back of your neck, I don't know what would. We're going to hear that song 3 times today, though. But the Colts, thanks to Banjos Rosny, about to get underway. The captain's heading out. Jacob Quinn, the captain for the Hobart Tigers, and Kane Wooders heading out to toss the coin. With our umpires today, Lucas Gaffney, Mark McConnon and Thomas McGann. They've done a sensational job to be selected through the TUFA. The boundary umpires today, Gabby Tichenau, Hamish Beachy and Jacob Wass. As the umpires just do the coin toss, it looks like it's been won by Quinn, and they'll kick to the left of screen. In the goals, we've got Alex Boxall and Malcolm Ingalls. Our emergency umpires today, Luke Brignall in the centre, Jacob Wass and Fletcher Ryan on the boundary.
You know what? I'm not massively patriotic, but I'd try and have a crack at singing if I was on camera. One Hobart player was singing the national anthem there.
I saw a couple of Southern Storms boys, and Jonty Fay, number 22, he was belting it out. So the Tigers are kicking to the right of screen. It is the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts grand final between the Southern Storm and the Hobart Tigers.
Hey, Tubes, before you're going, there's northwesterly blowing today, so it's going to have a flow. It's not too bad at the moment. The wind will pick up in about an hour and a half, but right now, it's actually not bad weather, is it?
Bit of Mike Pook about you today with the weather forecast.
I was
there,
listening
Pete.
to Tino and Reinhardt on the way down, and they were in the Botanical Gardens and were saying it was beautiful there, blooming away.
No, it's, I think, a little bit of rain potentially at about midday, but other than that, we're ready to go. It looks like Continenza's lining up on Carmichael. I like that job for Lockie Carmichael. Bantic's in the middle as well for the Southern Storm. And big David Monks is going to ruck for the Hobart Tigers against Ryan Clark for the Southern Storm. Game about to get underway here at North Hobart Oval. Peachy Roberts and Tubes Taylor about to set you alight here at North Hobart. The umpire's just waiting for the 666 to get started, and we're away. Rucks go at it. Big leap. Out the back it pops now for Cook. Gets it forward. Down towards the forward, and I think that's Walter that's come out and taken the first mark of the game. He'll love it here on North Hobart Oval. Maybe too far out to score here for Cam Walter. A little bit of movement in the pocket for him from Clark. But he'll go back. He's kicked 103 goals this season. The other fella down there to watch is Bantic. His kick's not going to make the journey, so it goes to the top of the square. Down at the bottom of the pack, the Storm rove it beautifully. Hard at the footy. Going one way, then the other was Timbers. He gets caught holding the footy. Great tackle laid by the Tigers. The free kick going to Mikulowski.
Yeah, so good start there. So their big players getting involved early. Timbers on the mark as Hobart are just going to try and work the ball out. There's an early spill of the football. They'll be under some pressure early. Is that little blustery breeze will have a little bit of an impact as the players converge on the football and have a hold up here. I reckon there is a bit of a breeze they're kicking into on the right-hand side. There's just getting smacked off was Kelly into the ruck contest over the back. And will probably play a big role today, is Monks. And the ball's just been cleared out, and it's going to find the George Miller stand, where there'll be some hardcore supporters there later. Most likely we'll see some of the Signet supporters in the seniors. I'll all bunch in there, I reckon, Tubes.
Well, I don't know whether you'll get them away from the wet area, will you, Peach? But we know that your Norfolk will be running out from the George Miller stand on that far side of the wing on Ride Street.
So Clark in the ruck. He was in best position as that ball's just cleared out. There's a good one-on-one contest. No one was really successful getting down there. Wooters was in there. Hobart struggling to really gather the football at the moment. It might be a head-high tackle, and the umpire said, no, he ducked it, and then he's going to blow the whistle.
A little bit off the ball there between Continenza and Ryan Clark. They're back at the ball now. Monks tried hard, got it out to a teammate. The pressure's so intense early in these stages of the grand finals. Chance for Timbers. He can't quite pick it up. Rolling ball out the back now. Rawnsley went in hard. Continenza caught one high. Umpire saw it. Free kick to the Tigers.
It was good by Carmichael. He's going to be a bull, isn't he?
Yeah. Continenza goes out wide. Finds a teammate there. Tigers just look to attack from the back pocket. Murfitt. His kick is a good one. Finding a teammate, the captain in Quinn. Quinn at centre wing of North Hobart Oval. They'd love to get the first score on the board, the Tigers. Nice fist from behind. Chance now for Smith, who gets smashed in a tackle. Over the line, though. Boundary throw-in.
It's going to be on that side, I think. The wind's going to just push it onto that. Well, it's not the attacking side of the ground generally.
No, it's always been the defensive side that in all the games we've ever called together, Pete. So we'll see a boundary throw in here. And the attacking half-forward line for the Tigers. Quick kick out was good from Rosny. Bouncing ball looking for Timbers. Timbers went with a fist and missed it altogether. Now the quick handball out. They've got some numbers here. Couldn't quite pick it up there was Campbell. He went back and got it and threw it on the boot. Down into the forward 50. Going back with a flight. Smith, courageous. Got taken out by a teammate coming hard. And I think that might have been Dane Aliff. And we'll see a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, he came charging out, and in the end, he didn't really judge the drop of the ball as it fell a little short. Pearcey at the back. Expect him in the long sleeves to be involved here for the Tigers. That snap didn't really get the purchase on the football, and it's been smacked in the pocket, and Kelly, I should say, will take it out of bounds. No 2 possessions in a row, is it, from either side? It's tight contested, a little scrappy at the moment.
I'd really love to get the first score on the board, the Tigers.
And now we're into it as Brereton can't quite win the football. It's nearly thrown out in the end. Bantic, and now it's cleared up into the half-forward line. It might be coming back again. It's towards Reed. Reed's kick's ineffective, and here's the chip, and they're away here. So this is the first real passage of play from the Storm. It's been delivered in by Shelburne, and there's a one-on-one in the square. Coming over the back is Bastic. Has he got the goal? No, it's been touched and rushed through. Some competent defence from the Tigers, and I mind the score.
Great defensive work by the Tigers. To be brought out here by James Burke. He plays on quickly. Gets that extra 20 metres or so and roosts it out towards a teammate. Flying high, they get fisted from behind. Now they dive on the footy at the bottom of the pack. It looks like Wooters. We'll see a ball up.
He'll be elusive, Wooters. He loves to sniff a goal out.
Monks wins it down, fists it down though. Only as far as the Storm play. The handball came out. Somehow it goes out the back. It's picked up by Cohen. A dribble forward by the Storm. Diving on the ball down there. I think that's Michalowski again, who's had a bit of the ball early. That breeze is just picking up a little bit. If we look around the trees here, Peach, it is blowing towards that right street stand.
No windsock on the scoreboard in either tubes these days. They've taken it down for health and safety reasons.
Really?
No, I'm not sure.
Someone needs a big sleeve sock. Come and pinched it. So ball up here. Big high fly there from the ruckman for the Storm. Clark. Out the back. Here's a chance for Carmichael. He's got some pace. He's got strength. Thrugs a tackle, then sends it down only as far as the Tigers defender. They send it away to half forward now for the Storm. Oh, under the ball there. That's a tackle from high. And they come to defend their mate. Down at the bottom of the pack. That was good stuff by the Storm player. Now it comes out for Kelly. Kelly's kick goes long in towards Walter. He's found it at the back. Somehow he picks it up. Again, pressure and numbers with the Tigers. And they hold it in. Umpire lets it go for a bit. And we'll see a ball up at the bottom of the pack.
He was set up then, wasn't he, in the middle of the ground. I just feel that sometimes players need to get themselves involved in the game by a heavy contest.
Billy Phillips was the one doing the tackling. Out it comes the back here. Wooters tries hard. Boundary throw-in.
Gee, Hobart are really pressured at the moment. They're putting a lot of body work on Bastic and co. Trying to impose themselves at the moment.
Yep. So boundary throw-in again here. Into the Storm pocket. Out it comes in the nice work. Jones swung and missed. It wasn't Jones at all. It was Michalowski. Holding the footy. Umpire saw it. So it'll be a free kick going against Cook.
So the Storm really struggling with their forward entries as Hobart's defence isn't great. They've been a lot of pressure put on them. Trying to beat 2 players. Well, he couldn't beat Doreen. There's always a Doreen in a Signet side. And a free wicket's going to be taken here by Fletcher. There's a bit of a push and shove just off the ball at the moment. Quinn's involved. He's having some conversations as now as Fletcher up and towards around about 30 metres out from goal, but it's a really ineffective ball in because it wasn't quite deep enough. Not going to have the advantage if they're going to kick to that pocket all day. Two players swooping down and getting the football was Doreen. Ball's being knocked out. First to the football now is Jonty Fay. Fay then, check side ball. It goes in towards the pocket. And the first score for the Storm.
Big hit there. It's a very willing contest, Peach.
Yeah, it's certainly a hot contest at the moment. And that's a good mark in the half forward. So they're still choosing to go down the defensive side of the ground. The Tigers. A little bit more one-on-one play that didn't necessarily advantage the teammate there. And it's gone over the boundary line. I think that was Britain over there.
So boundary throwing at half forward for the Tigers. One down. Out it comes a throw there, so it'll be a free kick going the way of the Tigers. We go to Continenza. He's got some options here long. Coming out to meet the footy. That's a good effort by Aleph to lead, but then chopping it off nicely with Ryan Clark. Short one's on here. Wooters. His kick's a long one. It's to a 3-on-1. Bouncing ball for Bastic. Bastic just shirked a little bit there. Timbus at the bottom of the pack. Cohen was down there. Carmichael got it out to a teammate in Fletcher, who goes up long to Walter, and he just protects the drop zone beautifully and takes a strong one.
It was great because once he got his bum in there, but he actually got a little hold from the defender from Hobart. But when you're playing in the front and the ball tumbles like that, you're certainly going to be best advantaged.
So in he comes. The 100-goal kicker. Centurion has got one in the grand final now. Cam Wilder with the first goal of the game. No doubt he would have been paying short odds to kick the first goal in this game.
Well, he only just made it too. Went a little way to the left. Low, hard driving kick from Wilder. And they're away here. And they'll feel a bit better about themselves, won't they, Storm? Because Hobart are really bashing and crashing at the moment.
Well, it's, as I said, it's been really, really hard at the footy stuff from the Tigers. And they're not shirking the issue of the Storm either. They're going hard as well. Really physical contest.
Yeah, finals footy at its best. On the ball's Carmichael. He's been influential already for the Storm. Neither team really got an advantage out of that. Now the Storm, ball's gone very high. Wooters is there. He can't quite get his hands on it. Handball inboard didn't really impact on anyone. The umpire will come in and sort it out. And once again, every time there's a stoppage, Tubes, there's a push and a shove, some testosterone. There was a little flying arm there. Nothing to do, but some conversation still happening. The most talkative Jacob Quinn on the field. He's not stopped chatting as the Monk's got his hand to it. Didn't necessarily advantage his teammate. Hobart trying to find some sort of passage. There's a lot of players around the ball. Carmichael at the back of the pack. Now Kim Hobart. They mount an attack here, but they've just got positions. They're all out of shop at the moment. There's now in defence. That's a poor kick, though. It's a 1-on-2. They've had a couple of poor dismisses. Shaw at the back here for the Tigers, but he also does not necessarily advantage anyone. He kicks it up high. Monks, and it's going to be a hold up here. And so maybe some missed kicks at the moment from both sides.
Yeah, Donovan flew high there, but the defence of the Storm was very, very good. They're a young footy side, but they're just starting to assert their authority. Cohen spins out of trouble, got it out wide. Now Smith does the same thing, but gets wrapped up in a Fletcher tackle. Umpire says no prior opportunity. We'll ball it up.
The ground's been heavily used, hasn't it?
Oh, there's been an insane amount of football played over here at North Hobart in the last 5 weeks. Ruck contest, one down. Gee, a shot on goal here is going to get close. Is it touched? Umpire says no. And the Tigers are on the board. Brilliant stuff, opportunistic stuff down there from the young Tiger player in Alex Wiggins. Real opportunistic stuff. He spun out of trouble, was wrapped up in a tackle and swung around, and boom, they're on the board. Let's take a look at this thanks to Banjos.
Look at this replay. I mean, at the back here, he gets it, spins, and, okay, not great defensive work from the Storm, but that's a way to get your side going, isn't it? Particularly when you had no effective movement into the forward line. Great goal. He's still claiming it's touched as well.
Thanks to Banjos Rosny for the replay. A quick LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard score check. The Storm 1-2-8 lead Hobart 1 straight 6. Smith trying hard. Fletcher with his head over the footy scoops it out. Nicely done to that man in Clark. Clark's kick went out wide looking for Salter. Wrapping it up though, the Tigers are going to defend here. Nice mark taken by Kroon. First time we've called his name. Nice fist from behind there. The Storm with the numbers around the footy. Little underground hand bust works out okay. The Storm drive it forward down towards Bastic. Bastic just slipped over and left the footy behind. Walter went in and got 3 Tigers attacking him there. Attacking and packs the Tigers. And we'll see a ball up inside the forward 50.
I think you're right. I think they actually got 2 players on Walter at the moment. We'll just see this ruck contest to see how they position themselves. Arkley in there. He couldn't shark the football. Now it's been released out by Hobart. Might be coming back again, although the boundary line's been found. The problem for Hobart at the moment, Tubes, is really rush kicks out. But for the Southern Storm, they're actually not setting up right for that kick at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say that Hobart are setting up really well behind the ball. But that means that they've got an extra, well, what they've got is an extra player behind the footy. So when they have those rush kicks, it's just coming straight back because the Storm have the extra number around the footy.
They've got an extra number, but of all, Storm currently are just struggling to set up on this ground. They're obviously much used to a bigger ground and a wider oval. At the moment, they're getting a little bit caught up in watching the football. The Storm come out. They've got it into the middle of North Hobart Oval. The advantage here is Hobart try and get some numbers. There's a drag without the football. Is that Arkley there with a free kick? And he gets Burke up. Numbers at the fall of this ball. Roving off the back of the pack. The check side shot up goal. Hobart got 2. Yes,
Connor Piercy, the goal kicker there. Opportunistic again, but it doesn't matter in a grand final how you get them. If they go through the big sticks, they're still worth 6 points.
Well, this is brilliant from the Tigers. They're actually in front in this grand final purely because they've gone forward 4 times and on 2 occasions they've been really well positioned. 1 extra Storm player jumped at that footy and that allowed Piercy to come through. It's a good finish too, isn't it?
Well, look at the way the ball bounced, and you can see the wind affecting the goalpost there too. Incredible stuff from Piercy.
There's some high numbers in this team. I realise they're the Colts.
This is how they go for those at home. They go number 2, number 3, up to number 60.
Yeah, and look, I'm struggling with the Hobart side. Obviously, I know more of the Storm players, but it's a battle at the moment to try and get down that number list as a commentator. If you're not necessarily familiar with some of the play. Did he dispose of the football? Carmichael came through and just threw his foot at the ball, was unable to make contact. Now just out the back, Hobart. Salter, he flicks the ball out towards Bannock. And now that will end up being a great handle on the Bastic. Bastic now gets the ball to bounce in front of him. It still won't sit for him. Bastic comes in, bashing through. Hobart laying some pressure late. Swinging around. He's going to have to get rid of it. The umpire's going to call holding the football. And that's exactly what he does. And straight away, Tubes, they are stuck back into it. Cooking bowl.
I'll tell you what, this is an intense contest, isn't it?
Sensational
footy. Brilliant work, brilliant tackle laid down back. So the Tigers move the footy out of their defensive half. Big fly at the back, down the bottom. Nicely done by Aliff. He gets held off the footy. And they're intentional in the way they move the footy. Look at this for a kick, a little worm burner. Down towards Monks. He can't quite hold the footy, but spins around, kicks it up forward. Storm with the numbers here.
Monks has been good, hasn't he?
He's been real good. Wooters gets caught with the footy. Continenza handballs to no one. Now a chance for Cohen. Through the middle of the pack he goes. His kick's a good one and finds Carmichael in the middle of North Hobart Oval. He'd be pretty familiar with this, being a former North Hobart junior player. The kick's a little too much for Bantic. Bantic, though, goes one way, then the other. Spins around on the left. Boots it towards goal, just through from behind.
Yeah, he looks good, Bantic up forward. He's now gone forward twice. And on his left, to his non-preferred, it was a good attempt. Good noise here, isn't there, Tubes?
Huge, and there's a fair crowd here building. The place to stand's basically full. The bays around the outside are basically full. It's great. Fletcher at the bottom of the pack trying hard. In hard at the footy was Fisher, and the umpire will ball it up.
Yeah, probably about 700 or 800 people in here at North Hobart Oval, and they're making plenty of noise. Pretty sure all the tickets were gobbled up, and as they do their counting right, after a few of these Hobart people leave, they might be able to get a few more people in. That's generally been the rhythm for the grand final so far around the state. Been about 4,000 to 4,500 to 5 for the 3 big grand finals so far.
Free kick going to the way of the Storm here.
Not
Fletcher.
Fletcher. So Fletcher, he's got the change of jumper into the pocket. Some help required. Salter, he was unable to dispose of the ball. Carmichael went past him. Bantic was in there as well. And that's that kick, isn't it? Because it's fallen straight in the hands of Carmichael. That's that pressure, isn't it, Tubes, from the forwards? And this is the game they're going to play. So Carmichael's not confident that he can find the distance. Waddles at the back, off the ground. And the umpire's going to call it touch. That's a goal.
Brilliant stuff. By the young man, I think it's Bastic. Bantic, rather. I get those two boys confused quite often, even though they are completely different looking units. Yeah, Bantic.
They move a bit similar, though.
Yeah. Bantic at the back with a goal.
Look at that for the umpires, just converging, having a little conversation, making sure that, because he was about to put his arms in the air and tap at the goal umpire, and then he's gone, hang on, he's got his foot to him. Split second change.
You can change your mind, right?
You can. It's a bit like giving someone out and then scratching your nose in cricket, isn't it?
Big tackle late on Lockie Cook. Umpire missed the high one. It'll be another ball up. Out the back, here's a chance for the Storm. Gee, just burrowed through there, did Cook. And there's the quarter-time siren sounding here at North Hobart Oval in this Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final. We'll check the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. The Southern Storm 2-3-15 lead Hobart. 2-12 goal kickers for the Storm. We got one to D'Artagnan Bantic and one to Cam Walter. For the Hobart side, it is one to Alex Wiggins and one to Connor Piercy. What a great game of footy we've seen here, Peach.
I reckon it was a really concerted effort from Hobart to come out and do something they can do and they can control, and that's pressure. You can have attitude and motivation around that. You can't always kick the ball effectively or be efficient going forward, or the ball doesn't bounce your way. So Hobart did the one thing that they can control, and that's pressure at the football. As the quarter went on, though, the Southern Storm were able to take that, and then they started to get their mojo going, and, you know, people like Carmichael in the middle, Bastic as well, and then Walter up forward. They started to look more dangerous, but, hey, it's only a 3-point lead here at quarter time, and Hobart have kept themselves in the game from two stunning roving goals.
Yeah, and the intent around the footy. No one's going the man. They're all going hard at the football. That's what I love about it, Peach.
One
that was maybe a little play, but that's okay. Their intent around the footy is insane. We're going to check out some highlights from that first term, thanks to Banjos Rosny.
Did you pop into Banjos? I know it's out of your way, but you would have gone to Banjos Rosny.
Yeah, I went over there and had a little sausage roll on the way out here. Got to fill up, get a few to light me up, you know. Get me full.
What's your favourite of Banjos?
Pie.
Just what's
straight
in the pie?
Meat pie.
Straight. I mean, you know you're a conservative guy, Tubes.
And I don't mind, Peach, over there at Banjos. They've got one of those spinach and ricotta.
Yeah.
You ever had one of them?
Yes, I have.
Oh, really? They're pretty good.
They're not bad.
It's a 3-point margin here, thanks to LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property in favour of the Storm. We'll take a look at these highlights from the first quarter.
This is his first goal, isn't it? Look at that spin.
Brilliant. Spin and stuff. That was Connor Piercy. What about Wiggins? I think Connor Piercy kicked the second one. So Wiggins kicked the first goal. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Alex Wiggins. That was brilliant stuff. And then this one, just beautifully roved by Pearcey. And then just had to check side it on the right side of the post to let it float through. He did. But it was always going to go that way, Peach, because of the way the breeze is blowing here at North Hobart Oval. And there was the Walter goal as well. So Cam Walter looked dangerous every time the ball went near him, didn't it?
Well, when it's one-on-one, he's going to be the dominant player. So extra.
So quarter time here in the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final between the Southern Storm and Hobart. It's a 3-point margin in favour of the Southern Storm, but it's a very even contest. You can see Coach Dill Huxley down there giving his Chargers what for, and I can't question their intent and their pressure around the footy from the Tigers.
What I would question from Hobart, their capacity to move the ball out of the half-forward line and get it through the middle of North Hobart to one of their forwards. I'm not sure who's going to kick their goals, who's the leading forward for Hobart.
Dane Ailiff's playing down there and he's providing lots of targets. I've been watching him intently from up here in the Leadham Devine Centre. But I tell you, they just, like you said, they get the ball. They're defending really well inside their defensive 50. Their ability to move it out and cut through that line of between centre and their centre half back, that's been difficult because they are playing a number behind the footy. But I tell you what, their intent has been sensational from both sides. They're both attacking the footy really hard. And
we don't want to leave anything out there. I think for Signet at the moment, they're playing what we'd call the chaos style football, which we see Richmond have played it, and Launceston are the only team that really played in the TSL and that won over grand finals. So it's really effective on small grounds and grand finals where you actually just get the ball moving forward fairly consistently. You don't mind too much when it's a rush kick inside the forward 50 if you've got good forwards, which they obviously do have. Hobart, though, can pick it off. Hobart can actually use that to their advantage if they've got the capacity to be calm and start to move the ball laterally. In the last couple of minutes, Hobart tried to hit up the little 45, and they actually got a couple of short leads. That's probably the game that they need to finesse it. I don't know that they could just bash it in. I know they got 2 goals from rush entries inside their forward 50, and that was purely from mistakes from the defenders from the Storm. They were both ball watching, and they weren't watching the players on the ground. So I'll be really intrigued how they start to manipulate the environment here, Hobart, in this second quarter.
Tell you what, the umpires are doing a sensational job too.
I love the umpires.
They're fantastic. Lucas Gaffney, Mark McConnon and Tom McGann running through the middle. Brilliant stuff from those young TUFA umpires.
It's a difficult acronym, isn't it, the TUFUA?
TUFA, isn't it?
TUFUA? It's got
TUFUA.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
No? There's too many U's. You've put too many U's in that.
Put an extra U in there.
Like a sheep farmer.
Should put more I's, shouldn't I, than U's?
All right, we're about to get underway in the second term. And we're going. So now we'll see how the Storm go when they're attacking with the breeze. Continenza over the footy, trying hard. Couldn't quite get it up. Bastic over his body.
Do you reckon it was only a bit over a goal, maybe, that breeze in that first?
Look, I couldn't say. I'm not out there. It's 18 degrees here as Bastic goes forward with a nice little chiseler. Bouncing ball in front of Scott. And we'll see a boundary thrown inside forward 50 for the Storm.
I think your thermometer's broken, Chips.
No, I checked that. Oh, no, we've got air-conditioned comfort here.
We're inside, mate.
It's a little bit colder down on the ground, that's for sure. There we are on screen. Hello to you viewing out in the YouTube lands. Punched away nicely by the ruck for the Tigers. Coming through there. They can't quite get it away. Brilliant stuff just to put a hand in there from Clark. Now a chance out the back for Salter. He tried to get it up to Bastic. He couldn't quite get the footy. Ailiff gets the beg your pardon, it was Quinn that got the football out. Now quick kick forward by the Storm. No one's at home though as the ball bounces out in front of Bailey Campbell for a boundary throw-in.
I'll just keep an eye on the interchanges this quarter and just see, because at the moment the better players for the Storm are playing on the ball nearly permanently, and they've already started back on that ball again. So players like Cook's on there, Salter's in there, Carmichael. Let's see if a bit of a war of attrition in junior footy.
Reckon they're going to get tired, Peach?
Well, I think if it's hot like this, then, you know, it could be different. Rosny out the side. It wasn't very effective. Lurking on is Scott on the side. He couldn't get. There's that rush kick out from Hobart. It might actually advantage Hobart on this occasion, although you've got to then mark the football. Pushing the ball was Cohen. Trying to take it around the corner was Rosny, and he's ineffective. And so they did get it out the back then, but it was probably more fortuitous than for Hobart. Still weren't able to get a movement inside their 450 with a drop mark. So
he'd be disappointed with that, Jared Smith. He normally gobbles those up.
A lot of long sleeves out here, isn't there?
Love
too?
It. Love it.
I know you like the long sleeves. There's something charismatic about the long sleeve player, providing there's not lots of them. Otherwise, they become a cliche. There's the effort from Hobart, isn't it? It might have been a little push in the back, not called, and then winning it was Salter. Salter just, well, I'm not sure where he's kicking it to. Maybe he heard a call from the George Miller stand, and that's where it's ended up.
It's a very, very tight game out there. But like you say, Peach, their desperation has been sensational from Hobart.
Looks like it's Clark in the ruck at the moment. He's going to be up against Monk. I don't mind this battle at the moment. It's just fallen short as Monk in his left hand came over. Then he sneaks out a handball. Ineffective at the moment. It wasn't a high tackle, and Fletcher's taken his Hobart opponent to the ground. And it's going to be, this little umpire here is going to have to do a bit of work. He's not much taller than the fence. And he's thrown it back into a little bit of a zephyr. He's going to have to get the knee. That's a good throw. Rucks again. Monk gets two hands to it. And then he's only got one way to get it out, and that's a handball over the top. And once again, Fletcher lays another tackle. That's 3 tackles in the quarter, and he's called it a sling. And having adjudicated a couple of tribunals this year, that's spot on. He bent his knees and he certainly pushed him into the ground.
Yep, Continenza takes the ball out wide, looks up towards Monks. The fist comes from behind, and it's forced across the boundary for another boundary throw-in. No, I don't mind that. I love that rule, actually, to be fair. There's no need to sling a bloke and dump him in a tackle. So Continenza, the right recipient of a free kick. We'll see a boundary throw-in here. The Storm doing well. Fisted away by Monks. Out it comes, though, for that man in Clark, and again the ball goes out of bounds. This boundary umpire is going to earn his dollars today, that's for sure. We've barely seen the footy on this wing, have we,
I think every time, and I've watched a lot of grand finals here on, you know, it's a neutral venue for the SFL, and teams that come who haven't played before get stuck there for days. They'll still be there next week.
So scoopy stuff out here. The quick kick forward. That was a good clearing kick from Monks. It's marked and gobbled up by the Storm. Across the face of goal here. Dangerous kick, and it's going to land okay to Cohen. Cohen through the middle of North Hobart Oval. That's another good kick, finding a teammate in Doreen. Doreen plays on quickly, gets a handball off to Cook. Cook goes long towards goal. Behind.
Best passage of play so far, wasn't it? And it was a switch kick, so it's the first time we've seen the lateral ball movement out to the, what they call a fat side. But
yeah, and game stuff from the Storm too to do that, because it's dangerous to kick it into the wind across goal.
It is. We were right on here. We actually saw it swing. It actually swung straight into the hands of Cohen, but only a minor in the end.
So the ball to come out here for the Tigers. Playing on quickly, that was, I think, Noah Howard. And his kick goes out of bounds. We'll see another boundary throw-in.
I feel like it's like the shops and all the places and cafes where there's arrows telling you where to go. We need an arrow to bring them out to this side of the ground.
It's certainly, well, this is the defensive side for Hobart. They're doing the right thing in taking the footy out that side right now. Carmichael over the footy, dodges past Smith. His handball, though, just misses the mark. Clark tried hard to get the footy. Monks is in there. Diving on the footy was Continenza. Couldn't quite pick it up. Now a chance for that man in Murfitt. Couldn't quite get it out towards his teammate Smith at the bottom of the pack. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Good to see the ferocity of Tim Lissant. He was 2 bumps, then he eventually got his man by laying a tackle. Monks over the top. Bashing his into the ball now. Hobart trying to give it a run, but once again the ball's been spilled out. Cohen got that. Now here come Hobart. Finally into a 1-on-1 contest. But the numbers out the back. Kelly. He steadies and kicks to a 1-on-3. He's never going to advantage his team. The switch is on play. They need to get the switch on here, Hobart. Maybe they're just going to launch back inside their forward 50.
It's
It's up to half forward. Walno in best position. And here's those defenders. The rush kick comes out in the foot race. He's been knocked to the ground, Rosny, after he kicked the footy. And it's going to be a free kick here to Bannock. Bannock does switch it. 3 players here in the middle. First to the football was Cook. Cook's good ball. Walter couldn't get it. Now it's picked up off the pack by Bastic. As he dribbles, and he's going to go. So Gary Bastic responds in the first goal for the Southern Storm here in the second quarter.
Well, again, that was maybe a little undisciplined from Hobart down back to do the hit after the footy's gone. But again, smart stuff to switch it back into the middle of the ground and hit the middle of North Hobart.
3 players, though, there, the Storm. What were Hobart doing?
We'll see it here on the Banjos replay. Walter kept the ball in front. Bastic in the right spot.
I reckon that's a nice finish from Bastic. I mean, he had a little bit of time, but he was really composed. The ability for Walter to get that ball in front of him was outstanding.
Well,
but
it didn't look like he was going to get there because the breeze was blowing away from him.
And that's 2 really good plays from as Carmichael was starting to lift here and get a bit of the ball. Walter's missed it down. It might be a free kick. The arms were whacked, and the umpire also witnessed that, and he's blown his whistle. And it's going to be a free kick here to the Storm, and they're going to have a shot on goal, and it's going to be in the hands of Bantic. Well, and I've seen Bantic only ever kick 1 goal, so I'm not sure what's he going to be like, Tube, set shot.
I think he'll drill it without a doubt. The only thing will be the breeze. He did kick 3 last time against this side.
So he's got to put it out to the left. It's one of those nervous shots. He's very casual, Bantic, and he snuck it in. He did lean it out to the left, and it stayed, and it's a goal.
Yeah, a bit of an inconsistent breeze here, to be honest, Peach. The breeze has really died out at this point in time, but a great kick from Bantic. He's got 2 in a grand final, the young fella, and he shot his side out to a nice 16-point margin.
So, change of style here from the Storm going with the breeze. They're actually prepared to take on that little kick to the middle. They're actually starting to, transition the ball much more effectively. I'll be worried. I'm not sure what Hobart's plan is. Do they throw someone back just to stop and stem the tide?
Well, I'm not sure what they do at this point in time. They are going against the breeze. That's a clever touch there by the Storm player. Coming through Clark. He just puts his back to the play, but that's okay. He's going to earn himself a free kick for a lingering tackle. So Clark in the ruck. Big Ryan will go back. He fancies himself from here. He decides to just send it up to the top of the square. The breeze takes it across the face of goal. Bantic's trying hard. Now a chance at the back. Couldn't quite. Call it holding the footy. It'll be a free kick going the way of Riley Jones. So Jones. Back pocket. Sends it out. I beg your pardon. That's Michalowski. Couple of big mullets out there from Michalowski and Jones. Get me confused. That one's out of bounds in front of Lockie Carmichael. We'll see a ball in.
Beswick's chirping a lot out there at the moment for Hobart.
I like this move. They're bringing on Tom Beswick, and he's a hard body around the ball.
He was desperate to get on there. I could see his mouth going, get me on.
Continenza with a kick. Going long here. The Tigers with a bit of open space in front. Just dribbles it forward. Now a chance for Kelly. Kelly just left it behind. There's Beswick just right on cue. They really need to get a hold of the footy here. Murphy trying hard again. Got it out. Now a chance for Cohen, who's been elite down at the back. His kick isn't overly elite as the handball came out towards Clark. Clark got it away. Now quick handball. That was good stuff from Arkley. Pressure again from the Storm. Jones with a kick off the ground. Now Smith in some space. He just needs to pick it up cleanly. He left it behind though, Jones. And it'll be cleared by Clark.
Well, really frenetic stuff. Hobart are trying to go with it at the moment. It's ineffective as Fletcher's got it. So the score isn't coming for them. That's into the pocket. That's brilliant. Swing around. It's going to go across the face. It's still in play. And there it is. Well, Bantic has snuck across. It was a good contest in the end. And he's hurt his leg. I assume is that cramp? Or has he got a knock to the side of the knee? Might be just a knock to the side of the knee from Bantic.
See the little Banjos replay here in the pocket.
And he's got it too.
Brilliant stuff.
So the Storm are jumping away here in the grand final for the Colts in the SFL. 5-4 to 2 straight. And they're looking pretty effective at the moment.
Gee, I've liked Elijah Cohen off that half-back line.
He reads a player. He's also communicating a lot. He seems to be the general quarterback down there role at the moment.
We've seen him play seniors for Signet as well, too, as Bantic comes off for a well-earned rest.
Let's see if Bantic has got a bit of treatment going. He looks a little sore as he seemed like there was a bit of infringement on him, but it was good mark in the end, and that, once again, that pressure. But you're right, the Cohen kick out was fantastic.
It wasn't a great kick, but
it was into the spot where it's going to advantage his team. First onto his Cook. He's going to go short. It's not a bad option. Bantic's got it. I should say not Bantic. Sorry, it's Lewis. Lawless. Lawless short. And it's gone to Wooters. It's been quite enough Wooters, but his teammates are doing the work at the moment. That kick's probably just off his toe, and it's going to be chopped off here.
Aleph. His kick goes out wide.
Yeah, so we're just in front of us now. The team, but once again, the setup behind the back of the play is Rawnsley is working really hard. Though it's being knocked out at the moment. The white numbers on the black and yellow is not helpful, but Hobart are going to win a free kick here, just the attacking side. Cruan, he stops. Now he's saying, I'm going to go long. He's got 2 leads, 2 options for him. Set up well at the back. There's still an opportunity. You've got to pick it up. Now they've got to go off the ground. Can Hobart might be kicking in danger, and they've actually called it too.
Yeah, so desperate stuff from Cohen. Really enjoyed his game.
Missed opportunity, wasn't then, for Hobart.
Yeah, and just again, desperate stuff from the defence here as the kick comes in. That's a good one. It lands in the arms of Brereton. Brereton gets called to play on here. In trouble. He goes out wider still and finds a teammate there in Clark. Clark's got a short one on if it's overcooked here. Nice attack on the footy from the Tigers. Brilliant stuff again there by the Storm to just get numbers around the footy. And we'll see a ball up right on the paint of 50.
But even then, they actually turned it over, but there was still a Storm player, wasn't there, in best position to shut that down. And they're looking to move the ball at 45 degrees. I know they talk a lot about that in the AFL. Carmichael, his handball over the top, looking for a teammate in Wooters. It's going to find him. Does it sit for him? No. Pushed off the ground there by the defender for the Tigers. Quick one forward. This one should be cleaned up here by the Tigers. Might be holding the ball. Was that a fend off as well there?
Yep. At the bottom of the pack, it was Mikulowski running into Bastic. So Bastic will go back from 50 and look to send it up. He's got a short one on here in Walter, but it's going to be chopped off nicely by Monks. He's been good. Liked his game. Monks with a roost out wide, looking for a teammate in Aleph. Aleph gets tackled beautifully by Rawnsley.
But just look at that, Tubes. Aleph had several players to beat, and it wasn't until the last minute that a Hobart Tiger came in to apply some support.
Yeah, they're desperate around the footy, the Storm. I love it. Aleph gets his kick forward. Cohen reads it beautifully, then runs into a tackle. Going back now, the Storm to Rawnsley. Rawnsley with a short one. Finds a teammate out wide in Fletcher. So Fletcher from centre wing looks up. Just a good kick. Looking for Bastic out of bounds for another boundary throw-in. We'll take a quick score check thanks to LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property. The Southern Storm 5-4-34 lead Hobart 2-12.
Work to do. It's been around 35 minutes since Hobart kicked their second goal. The drought is on. Drought's not for Clark as he got the football. Hobart don't really have too much upfield, although Monks has said just juggling the mark. He's got to play it further down the line, but no real option up the field and coming through and applying some pressure and bashing it over. That was Fletcher there, and he's neutralised that football.
It might be Bantic, is it?
It's a fair way from us. You've got the binoculars, mate.
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure that was Bantic that fisted away, so he's obviously okay, and they're playing at half back.
So a few changes coming in as Donovan in there. He misses it. Nearly won by Carmichael. Arms it in the air by Bastic. Players grappling for the football. Reed for Hobart holds it up.
Dragged it in there.
Oh, he has called a holding.
Yeah, no, he dragged it in.
So Hobart with a free. Can they find something here? The Tigers need one. And they're not, well, that actually has been helpful. It didn't look great. I think that's Smith there. Now it's up towards the pocket, just over the top, and lurking at the back is Cohen. And a boundary throw in, and let's see if Hobart can produce something for one of these stoppages.
Well, you'd hope so. Just to give them a little bit of belief for the Tigers. We know the Southern Storm is an elite footy side. They're so good.
Just look how they're set up then. Oh, they have scored goals from snaps so far for Hobart, and now it's going to be brought out towards the wing, and Lawless has got it. He's going to go short, so they're starting to work the ball and find their options. And one guy that does like to use the footy is Wooters. His chip was fine. He was trying to find Carmichael. In the end, the drop mark, and then Fisher also dropped it and then smacked up towards half forward. Hobart protecting that area at the moment, and they're going to have to go short, and that's a really good kick. Once again, another chest mark that's dropped. Is that the perceived pressure that we're expecting? Because that was really an easy mark from Wiggins. Yeah, and it bounced off his chest.
I'm not sure what it is, Peach, but it might be the pressure of a grand final. It could be anything. It could be that swirly breeze that gives you a false sense of security, and then all of a sudden it blows back in your arm.
Yeah, so it's a little bit, stick your washing on your line. You could lose it today later on. He's meant to pick up as Fisher getting his hands to it. Might have been Shaw trying to get in there. He couldn't win it. Carmichael also. There's an elite handball. Clark running forward. One-on-one contest. Walters gets the front. Can't juggle it. Gets the punch from behind. Then turns it around the corner. The goalkeeper's there. And a rather interesting kick, and he's cleared it out to centre wing.
Out at centre wing, here comes my man Cohen, who just ducks back inside. Nice kick down towards Wooters. Wooters got 4 to beat here. He needs to either hold on to the footy, and he does so. Handball came out, and the cavalry arrived for the Storm. Out the back, a chance for Fletcher. Fletcher can't quite pick it up. Nice tackle laid on Shaw. Now the handball comes out for the Tigers. Monks gets it out towards Continenza. Continenza cops on high. Umpire missed it. Play on's the call, and the umpire now says I'll ball it up. Good little tackle laid there by Brereton, and a bit of pressure too.
Yeah, they haven't stopped, have they? They've actually lifted, and can Hobart go with them at the moment? It's probably no.
Quick kick forward by the Tigers. Trying to get a hold of the footy out there is Quinn. Is that out on the full? No, off the knee, says the umpire. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. So here at half forward for the Tigers. Storm with all the pressure in the footy.
Car over there.
Yeah, it is Mr. Bean's car. So ball in. Nice ruck. One down by, I think it was Clark. Diving on the ball there. We're going to see another ball up. Breeze again's just picked up, Peach.
Yeah, I feel like it's a couple of goals now going to the left-hand side of the screen.
Bastic with a clever touch. Carmichael gets his kick long. Reading the play beautifully there was Campbell. Walters trying hard. So is this man Fletcher. And we might see it over the line. Yes, another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, it's certainly favouring the Institute end of the ground, which is what the old boys call that end of the ground, the Institute end.
Is it? Oh, it used to be the old Institute of TAFE, wasn't it, or something like that? Who knows? I'm a Bernie boy. Ruck contest, one down nicely here. Through was Fletcher. Bastic. Quick bend from the pocket. Gee, that's a good kick. And the umpire has blown time here. So half-time here at North Hobart Oval on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle scoreboard. It is the Southern Storm 5-4-34 leading Hobart 2-12. Goal kickers for the Southern Storm. Well, D'Artagnan Bantic's got 3, 2 in that term, Peach. Murray Bastic had a beauty in that term, and Cam Walter with 1. For Hobart, Alex Wiggins and Connor Piercy with 1 apiece. Better players for you, Peach?
Yeah, I thought Wooters started to get a little bit of the ball, and Bastic obviously and Carmichael in the middle, but Cole down back is the best player on the ground at the moment. And that probably indicates that Hobart are able to get the ball into their forward 50, but at the moment, Cohen's not just ability to read the play and control his group, his delivery to get the ball laterally moved out and bring the midfielders into the game. They look a lot more dangerous at the moment. It's a matter of, I mean, Hobart amongst has been really good in the ruck. I think at the moment, Ailiv's tried hard. Mikulowski's been involved as well. Continenza just can't quite get his hands on the footy. He keeps dropping the footy, or it's not with him at the moment. It just jumps out of his hands.
I think Riley Jones has been pretty good down back as well in patches. But the Storm, like you said, I think it's Elijah Cohen running off that half-back line who just keeps on keeping on, and then his ability, like you say, to spot up a target or hit it to a dangerous spot even is really important. I think Ryan Clark's been excellent in the ruck. He's been well matched by David Monks in the ruck, though, for Hobart. D'Artagnan Bantic, well, we can't go past him, can we? He's been sensational. Matt Fletcher, I think Murray Bastic set the tone around the footy for the Storm.
Got good leaders around that footy, don't they?
Absolutely, and I think Lockie Cook's been really, in patches, explosive too.
There's actually a few guys like Johnny Farr and others that haven't needed to do anything at the moment, and even Rawnsley's had a few touches.
So we've got a few highlights coming up for you here at half-time. So we see the boys from Lindisfarne arriving. This was a great goal from Bastic. Again, just had time to assess the situation, but I want to highlight Cam Walter's ability to present and the ability to keep the footy in front. Here's the kick from Bantic on 1 foot, doing a bit of Hulk work too. Loves it. Alex Timpus came in with a double high five.
He might have nearly injured himself. It was extreme.
A bit of pressure there. This was from the first half.
Off the ground, yeah.
That's the first quarter rather. Goal there, and he's doing a little bit more flexing. D'Artagnan.
He kind of was on the move then, wasn't he? He flexing and moving at the same time. Obviously, the two hemispheres of the brain couldn't get him to force the biceps out as much as the second goal.
And here it is
again.
Yeah, this is the goal from Bastic. Just a little bend around the corner. Sensational stuff from the young man in the stack hat. Then Bantic had another one.
Very casual, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's super casual. I like it. How many people do you think you're going to get here today, Peach?
Well, look, it's probably going to be 4.5.
Yep, there it is again. We love this.
Wowzers.
Bulking up the Hulk.
Can you injure? You'd cop it, wouldn't you, from your mates if you injured yourself from celebration?
This was a clever kick right here too.
Yeah, and look, the wind favoured him. It pushed it across and he got in the right spot, and then a bit of attention as well. Looked to be a little sore after that one.
Oh, a bit more Hulk stuff from D'Artagnan. We love that. All right, half-time here at North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final. There they are, the Hobart crowd, the Hobart faithful. We're going to take a quick break here at North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final in the Southern Storm and North Hobart. It is a 22-point margin in favour of the Storm. My name's Tubes Taylor. I'm joined by Peachy Roberts. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the second half of this grand final in just a few moments. We'll be right back. Welcome back to North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final between the Southern Storm and the Hobart Tigers. It's a 22-point margin in favour of the Storm after an exhilarating 3-goal term. My name is Tubes Taylor. I'm joined by Peachy Roberts next to me. Peach, an entertaining first half of footy. What do you think the message from Coach Huey Doreen would have been for his charges at the Southern Storm?
Kick a goal. That'll be the first one. Look, they're in with a chance because the Storm haven't necessarily got the advantage on the scoreboard that they were looking before, and there's the Hobart boys trying to... crikey, we get on screen as well, do we?
Yeah, we get the lot here.
Oh, wow, this is unbelievable, isn't it? So I think at the moment for Hobart, they've got to take some pressure. They've got to take some risks. They've got to find a way of working the ball through the corridor. They can't just bash it long. They've got to also be aware of where Cohen is down in defence and the defenders for the Storm to ensure that they're not getting easy balls out. If they do get an easy ball out, they're often bringing out to the attacking side of the ground. It'd be interesting to see what they do in this quarter in relation to kicking into the breeze. But I don't think Hobart, they've got a lot of work to do, but they are in touch on the scoreboard, and that's something for them at the moment.
I think they'd like to see the ball in Continenza's hands. It looks like they've moved Dane Aleph back into the middle, which is great. He was providing a lot of target up forward, but he's a strong body. So my expectation is if he's not getting a kick up forward, give him a crack in the middle.
Well, I think that's a fair call, and obviously he does kick goals. But, yeah, he's not going to kick goals if the ball doesn't necessarily get to him.
So we're about to get underway in the Banjos Rosny Colts Grand Final in the SFL. Nicely won down by Clark. Chance over the back here. Bantic doing a big amount of tackling, and the umpire says I'll ball it up.
He's laid a lot of tackles, Bantic, hasn't he?
He loves it. Like I said to you before the game, I went down to the Southern Storm rooms just to check the team sheets, and I pat him on the back and wished him all the best because I like the way he goes about it. And my hand nearly broke off as Monks gets it out forward, flying down there. Chance for Quinn, couldn't quite get a hold of it. The handball went backwards, looking for Kelly, couldn't quite find it, kept it in somehow. Umpire says, no, it's out of bounds. I'll ball it in. So the crowd here starting to build. So we're going to the third term. Nearly a minute gone on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. The ball comes back in. Ruck contest one down, through there with pace, couldn't quite get it. Pearcey trying hard. Tackle there around the neck maybe was Doreen. Umpire missed it, ball up.
Pearcey needs to be there, doesn't he, kicking goals?
Yep. Bit of push and shove here. Umpire's just coming in, need to ball the ball up. Howard in the ruck. Up against Brereton. Tackle lane, umpire says, give it to me, boys, I'll bowl it up again.
When this is okay for Hobart, I mean, they've got the ball down there, but where are they going to get this goal from? Is it going to be a snap?
Yeah, not sure, to be honest. Continenza wrapped up in a nice tackle there by his opponent. Jumped on him pretty quickly. There was Clark. So we'll see another ball up. Where they need it, the Tigers. Out the back, here's a chance for Aleph. Aleph's kick just didn't hit the wrong side of the ball, he did. And a bouncing ball across the opposite side of the ground. We'll see another boundary throw in.
That's interesting because the Storm, I just watched that for 30 seconds, they're actually getting sucked into the ball. So if you can get it out, someone like Aleph can use it effectively. There's a chance here, Hobart, to get one back.
Yeah, they're set up pretty well behind the ball here, Peach. The Tigers, they're playing in front of their opponents. I like it. That was a throw. Absolute throw there from
volleyball set.
Yeah. Carmichael got a fist to the footy. Now a chance for the Tigers as they go forward. It's just sprayed there by Kroon. Just through from behind.
Good couple of minutes here from Hobart. They got the breeze, probably about 2 goals. And that's a really great mark from Lovell. There's a lead coming towards him from Fletcher. Now it's going to have to go high. Fletcher's going to get involved. 2 Hobart players tracking in there. The right hand was Campbell. And now for the first time, we're going to have an opportunity to go forward. Fumbling the football, Clark. And that resulted in a couple of players to get back, and one of the players who's yanking everyone off the footy is Jones from the Tigers. And he's also got one of the flowing locks that Tubes Taylor makes a note of, and he'll probably put him in his book of best mullets of the year. Running over the top was Bastic. And then a rush kick out the side by Lawless. Now they try and build again. Running out of pressure. Cook trying to pick it up. Lawless in again. Now the foot race is on. Who can get there first? Innes is in there. And then Hobart lays some pressure and take it over the boundary line. So good pressure from Hobart. And once again, the little bit of niggle in a grand final, Tubes Taylor, and that's absolutely okay. Wooters is involved. There it is there. So Wooters getting put on his backside.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like their intent.
Clark.
From both teams.
Can't win it. On to Innes. Someone needs to pick this up from Hobart. Finally, Britton. Britton comes again. Up to half forward here. Nearly Carmichael's ball. And it's just pushed out of the pack by Brereton on the outside. So can they find Walder up there? He's got a lot of Tigers around him. The ball's knocked out the back. Numbers are most likely here with Hobart. That kick will have to get away. Storming through is Doreen. Doreen dragged down. And I'm going to have a throw up here.
Great stuff from the Tigers defence there, but they're just set up so well behind the foot of the Storm. Brilliant stuff from Doreen. He got buried into the ground here at North Hobart. Wooters up against Michalowski. No, that's actually David Monks. The kick went just straight up in the air. Fletcher through with pace. Got tackled. The Tigers are just everywhere at the minute. Doreen got his handball away somehow. Continenza out of midair. And Cohen takes the mark. Gets called to play on. The crowd starts to come into it a little bit. Monks trying hard. Over the footy, umpires pulled out a free kick. It'll go to Monks. Right in front of the Hobart Peanut Gallery here. We love, I call them peanut galleries. It doesn't, it's just gallery, really. Yeah. They're not all peanuts.
There's no pictures, though, is there?
No. Big fly at the back. I know that was Quinn. Now Bastic with a big tackle. Ball just popped out the back. Quick kick forward. No, umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up.
Quinn was good, bit launched himself, but he just hasn't been able to catch anything today. He certainly looks likely. Kind of a stalemate at the moment, Tubes.
Yeah, it's a real arm wrestle, Peach. One down there. Doreen got tackled without the footy. Continenza got his hands on it, but again, another one of his kicks just gets smothered. Kicked off the ground by Aleph. Diving forward, Rawnsley couldn't quite take it away. Then selling a bit of candy down there was Brereton. Brereton's kick goes up towards Clark. Clark under the footy takes a nice strong grab at centre wing. He wheels around, then sells some candy. Ducks past Fisher. His kick goes up. It's all Tigers down here, though, and a nice mark taken at half-back.
Yeah, I suggest the breeze may have just impacted it. I reckon for Cook, he was unable to find him. Now Hobart just off half. Can they get something rock and rolling for them? That's not going to advantage them. There's Clark in there. And now the running game, they've turned it over. In the middle, calling for the footy was Wooters. He's not going to get it. Walters at the back. You can't get it, and they're going to have to mop it up. That ball's high in the air. Doesn't really favour anyone besides the boundary line. It's going to be a shot on goal here. Is it going to be, is it Wooters' ball?
Touch ball off the...
I was touched, apologise. So we're going to have a throw up here. Or a throw in, I should say. The umpire's just blown time off as they've got some players now interchanging. I think the one thing going for Hobart at the moment, they're pushing through their interchange just a little quicker. Monk with his right fist onto it. Didn't favour one of his teammates. The ball's high up. Walder's coming through. He had a couple to beat. And the umpire's blown the whistle. And there's a push on Monks.
High tackle.
It was high, was it?
Yep,
Sorry, push off by Monks. So Walters will have a shot. His second set shot by Walter. I'd see this one. We'll just see this one on the replay here. Yeah, his left arm was over him.
Yeah.
So he gets close, but he drills it like he did in the first. And the same result. And the Storm are on the board in the second half.
What a great kick.
He's got a good kick into the breeze, low, hard, a bit like driving into the breeze in golf, and very effective.
Well, it extends that lead out to 27 points. The good kick from Walter.
Limited opportunities, Walter. Free kick, 1 mark, 2 goals.
104 goals for the season too. Brilliant stuff from the young man. And I tell you what,
who's he telling you to be quiet?
He's telling the Hobart faithful, I love it. I don't know how old he is, but he's definitely less than 18 years old, and he's full of spunk. We love it. Ruck contest back in the middle.
His mum drove him here, probably.
Probably. Fletcher got a handball out. Nicely done to Clark. Clark off to Wooters. Wooters. His kick is a high one. Down towards Fletcher, who takes a strong mark in front of Jones. It's not Fletcher at all, it's Clark.
He's had a dirty
Tommy
few
Clark.
minutes, Jones. He's given away a free kick and nearly needed to punch that one.
In he comes Clark. Wheels around, gives himself a little bit of extra journey. It's not going to get the accuracy, it's through from behind. So Tommy Clark gets the behind on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Properties scoreboard. The margin back to 28 points. Kick comes out. Just see the ball doing a fair bit of work there. Nice work at the bottom of the pack from Aleph. He got his kick forward, a little push off the ball too.
Look how many Pearce he had to beat, and he had 3 Storm players to beat.
They're so good. Monks takes the mark.
The thing is, there was 2 Hobart players here. Monks was one of them by themselves, didn't get to the contest. They've got the ball now.
Monks needs a short one. No, he's just going to bomb it long now. At the back, Smith got a fist over the back. Quick kick, trying hard was Kelly. Arriving Quinn. Push and shoves. No love lost in grand finals, is there, Peach?
No, the one who's been involved is Carmichael. He's setting the scene or the tone around the ball.
Down it comes for Kelly, who's fast. No right foot though, no left foot though.
He was so fast his feet didn't work.
Now it's picked up here by Cook. Cook got his handball off to Carmichael. Carmichael goes out wide, finds Fate. He looks up. Long kick out towards Walter, and he just finds the footy beautifully, and there's a big collision behind play. It was a knee into the face of a teammate down there. And Waddington, who's done a pretty good job on Walter.
He actually really incidental, wasn't it?
Yep.
Just unlucky, and you can see in the replay there.
In he comes, Cam Walter. For goal number 105, just to the near side. Through for behind.
It's okay, though.
A bit of scoreboard stuff coming out early in this piece from some of the peanut galleries. It's a good mark.
They've got to move it on, Hobart. I mean, already the Storm have got players back.
Mark slips up. It's a good kick. Out into space. Who's going to get there first? It looks like Lethan Lovell. He's happy to see it across the line for a ball in.
I mean, that kick was meant to be directed to Smith. It went a fraction long with the breeze, but I think the tone's been set in his corner, hasn't it, from the Storm. They've extended their lead into the breeze, and they're making it very hard at the moment for Hobart, who have not scored a goal for 50 minutes, just the behind. Ruck contest. Monk gets it with 2 hands, but then he has 2 players to beat. Getting it in front of the boundary line is Salter. Masks on today, expecting a bumper crowd to see here on the replay.
Good tackle.
Yeah, they're actually tackling standard. We've seen that one sling tackle with the tackling standards, and it's been outstanding. Brereton in the ruck and bashes it towards the line again. I tell you what, if Hobart, I'm just trying to work out once again how are they going to score a goal.
Yeah.
Piercy, that man on screen, I feel like
he's like his electricity.
He needs to be moving, but I mean, if he goes close, he brings a player in, but they need to structure up a little bit different. Smith couldn't get it. The check side didn't work either. Working his way through real estate is Cookie. Gets the ball backwards to Rawnsley, and he handles it out a little wider towards Brereton. Back in again. It was, Cohen, I should say.
Caught hold of the footy.
How shot on goal here. Well, out of all of that, it's Quinn. And he's going to be tight, and I can tell you...
I think it's actually Aylett.
Sorry, it is Aylett. He's got the curly hair. So Aylett, he's 50 just inside the paint. He's going to go across the mark of 50 to about 46. Can the breeze do something? Well, it's pushed to the mark. The man gets his hands up and clunks it.
Well, that ball was always going to land there like that, Peach. It was well read by Big Monks.
So they don't have a lot of big players down back there. Lots of good users, runners with the footy. So Monks needs to do a goal. He's on the replay. Monk just reading the play a little better. And let's see if he can finish off his good work, because he's been one of Hobart's best today. Gets close, gets the goal.
Well, they needed that, the Tigers. Absolutely needed that. The Storm, 6-6-42, lead Hobart 3-1-19 at the 14-minute mark of the third term. Monks gets a goal.
It's been 50-50 general play, but once again, it's really... Because Monk has to ruck. He's the dominant player in the ruck at the moment.
Yeah, but I tell you what, though, he's been well matched by Ryan Clark.
Yeah, Clark's been effective.
Clark is a smaller man.
Well, the problem, though, is when Monk does win it, the smaller players from the Storm are reading the tap anyway.
I just love the way Ryan Clark leaps at the footy.
He's an athlete,
his ability to leap is unmatched, really. Monks just leaves it down. Now it comes back for Quinn. Quinn's handball misses the mark. Somehow it just scoops away. Carmichael with pace was met by Monks. Out the back, a quick kick away. It's gone straight up in the air. Murphy trying hard. So's Cook. We'll see a ball up.
Carmichael, old-fashioned, runs in straight lines. And you can actually see him on the ground. Doesn't try and dodge. He tries and bashes his way through.
Somehow it bounces up. Getting DDT down there was Clark. Murphy with the DDT lane. Cook out the back. There's a short one on. It's going to be chopped off. Nicely done. Reed looks up. Just leaping at the footy there was Britton. Couldn't quite take it. Now a chance here at the bat. The handball came out towards Cook. Cook now needs to be quick. Gets smashed in a tackle. It's a good kick, but it's chopped off. James Burke gets his kick away, rushed. Little push in the back there by Ethan Lovell. It's going to work out okay here for the Tigers. Beswick went in hard. Again, numbers here with the Storm. That kick's going to work out okay for the Storm. And it's out in front of Clark. No, it's kept in. Aylett trying to tackle, got the handball off. Now Wooters, his kick goes up, but again, they're setting up behind the footy really well. Monk couldn't quite take the footy. Mikulowski came hard at it. Quinn couldn't quite pick up the footy. Out it comes now for Salter. Salter's little handball goes back towards Monks in the opposition colours. Wooters has a short one on, decides to go long. Could have just assessed his options a little better there. And the mark taken by Burke.
Set up behind play at the moment, Hobart, but doesn't mean that they've got the scoring opportunity. Monk's in best position. He does mark the football, getting involved at both ends of the ground at the moment. He's got a player out wide. That ball has to be precise, and it is. Now the lead comes out. Shaw over the back. Smith in there. Donovan. They can hold it up here. They'll be really pleased with that, Hobart, and they do. So a good bit of ball movement. They actually took it on too, didn't they? They got that 45.
Transition was sensational from Hobart.
And that's what we talked about this second half. They needed to take some risks and maybe try and work a way of getting that ball up to one of their forwards. Well, no one was in the ruck from Hobart. It's going to favour, though, Hobart. Handball at the back. Dragged out. Still in possession here for Hobart. The ball's being swung in towards the hot spot. And a defensive. That's disappointing because, once again, really struggling with his days, Donovan. He's had the ball near his head a few times, but unable to get his hands on that one. So defensive side of the ground by the Storm. Dropping the ball was Fay. Bit of work and clever by Carmichael. Carmichael now, and it's going back between the half-forward lines. Because neither team's really finding a way, and even that's probably going to come back again. Ball's been dropped, shoving it back, not called by the umpire and Quinn. Eventually the umpire does call a free kick, and Hobart will have one now.
They've just got numbers behind the footy here.
They're just pushing up. Yeah. I think they're cheating a lot of the time, Storm. I think they know they're going to get the ball back. That's into the pocket. There's three players that they need to beat then. Swooping down is Walter. That's not Walter, I should say. It's a high ball outside. Finally going to the attacking side of the ground, but they can get the right bounce here. They might be able to draw the ball back inside their 450. Wooters now picks up the loose ball. His use, well, it was a good thought from Wooters, but unfortunately. And there's two players down behind the ball, and it's going to be a free kick here to the Storm, and the book is out, and the card is out.
Yeah, Jonty Fay just undisciplined.
I turned around and he was actually on his head, pushing his face, so he's going to have a little sit down for a minute, and once again the conversation can be replaced as Scott coming on the ground, and Hobart are going to have a free shot on goal here within 30 metres, because that's where the ball was.
Michalowski, I think it is.
Yes, one of the few mullets here. So Michalowski, 35, 40 metres. Desperate Hobart to try and work one back. That's great. Michalowski gets it. Hobart. I've got another in the second half from indisciplined football from the Storm, and a goal results.
On the LJ Hooker scoreboard, it reads 6-6-42 the Storm. Hobart 4-1-25. 17 points the margin with 19 and a half minutes gone in the third term.
Just hanging on, aren't they?
We'll just see this beautiful kick. It was a magic kick from Michalowski. Or Michalowski. To be honest, if you want to chime in and tell me how it's said, at Tubes on Twitter.
I think people get confused how many tubes.
Just three.
Just three tubes.
3 tweets. 3 tubes.
3 tubes.
3 tubes. There's tubes. So back in the middle, not long to go in this third term. And a little bit of belief now as it comes out for Carmichael. Gee, they'd love to get a goal. No. Again, the siren goes just like it did at half-time, with the ball going deep inside the forward 50 for the Storm, and the crowd really starting to get into it.
You know what? Hobart's... Oh, there was a little clip there, and I think the umpire's in there as well. So the Hobart players are now just coming in, and they're actually up here, Hobart, in relation to their spirit, but the problem is they're kicking into the breeze in the last quarter, and 17 points is a decent margin.
It certainly is, Peach. Goal kickers for the Storm. 3 to D'Artagnan Bantic, 2 to Cam Walder, and 1 to Murray Bastic for the Tigers. It's singles all the way around. David Monks, Michalowski, Wiggins and Piercy all with the goal kickers. You can see them just trying to organise their charges here for the Storm. Coach Kui Doreen, I'm sure, will just be trying to ease a little bit of calmness around his boys, Peach, because undisciplined stuff from Jonty Fay getting sent off. I think that's a 15-minute spell for him.
Yep, it is. We'll keep an eye on that one, but interesting. A few fans coming onto the ground. Getting around the huddles. Just look at the last couple of minutes from Hobart. Monks started to have a bit more of influence away from the ruck contest.
Yep.
He actually got out the back. He was involved in a set shot. But it was actually just some indisciplined play from some of the Storm players. There's been a lot of conversations throughout the day. There's been lots of chat and chit between the two teams. There's been not necessarily untoward, but there's been some little pushes in the pack and little niggles, which is all really normal in a grand final. At the moment, the team that's reacted is the Storm, and the free kicks have gone against them. And as we've seen, umpires pick up really quickly this behind the play stuff. And so at the moment, 17 points, I'd suggest, is much closer than what it feels like in general play. However, in that quarter, I thought Hobart did start to wrestle some of the control back. Yeah,
I still think the Storm, given that they've got 17-point margin here at three-quarter time on the LJ Hooker scoreboard, we can see some of the Signet fans, the Port, supporting here, of course, the Southern Storm, who are an amalgamation of Commandy.
Well, they kind of are. So Commandy never had a junior club, but Signet Juniors, they've just embraced Commandy, the Robins logo on their Guernsey.
Yes.
And they're also trying to push in and support the Channel region as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty much, you know, a combination. Obviously, Huonville's a combination of Franklin and Huonville. So it's not necessarily merging, it's just more that respectful connection back into that, one of the traditional clubs in that area they ended up folding about a decade ago.
if you've got some feedback for us, if you've got an idea on what you think should be happening in this fourth term for either side, hit us up at Tubes on Twitter. We'll give you a shout out. It's a 17-point margin here at North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Colts Grand Final. The Storm losing one game for the whole season. They got a young fella out there by the name of Cam Walt who's up to 104 goals for the season, Peach.
People don't kick 100 goals these days. Murphy Cohen-Smith kicked 99 goals in the NTFA. That included goals in the prelim, but he kicked 9. Guys just don't kick 100 goals.
That was Luke Murphy Cohen.
Luke Murphy Cohen.
For Longford.
Yep.
Well, you've got your connections up there in the north. We don't want to hear about that down here in the south, but I do know Luke Murphy Cohen. He's a pretty good footballer, handy.
He was good in the. He was good throughout the season. Couldn't quite get his team across the line. If they had made the grand final, they would have gone all the way. Building up the Blues, I should say, well, traditionally over the last decade, Shoops, one club that's been involved heavily is Lindisfarne. They only got the one team in the grand final. I did see them warming up before getting involved.
No, they'll be playing New Norfolk in the reserves grand final, and then we've got the big dance. The Signet Port Footy Club taking on the Huonville Lions in what is one of the it's my most anticipated match of the season.
And we've seen them a lot. You and I have commentated a lot. You've obviously seen both clubs. It's massive. And I actually had some work to do at a carnival yesterday in Lonnie, and as I rocked up, there was Liam Ward and Bluey Duggan standing next to each other.
Really?
And I was trying to see if they might get some tension, but they're pretty laid-back characters, particularly Liam's a pretty laid-back character. And you just know they weren't properly talking to each other.
No, they'd be keeping their...
You can't speak as soon as you go past Craddock. People on that side of Craddock, the southern side of Craddock, that's where it's Port Town. But at the moment, the Storm...
I think a telling stat in this game is the 12 scoring shots to 5, Pete.
Yeah, but they haven't missed too many easy goals, have they? But they've kicked the ones they needed to, the set shots. It's probably more the reflection of, if you look at the possession game at the moment, definitely throughout the day it's been won predominantly by the Storm, and Hobart's goals have come from free kicks, kind of scrappy ball moving inside. They haven't looked as consistent, but full credit to Hobart. They were massive underdogs in this grand final, and they've come out really physical, and they're actually kind of holding on. I actually think Hobart might run out this game pretty well. The matter is, can they kick 4 to 5 goals? They pull it into the breeze.
Into the breeze.
And that's really unlikely because they've kicked 4 goals for the whole game.
Yeah, that's a telling piece of information from you there, Peach. So fourth term about to get underway here. 17-point margin in favour of the Storm. We're away. Clark and Monks do battle. Out the back for Bantic. His fist comes out towards Bastic. Bastic with strength. Gets it off to Cook. Cook caught high. So it'll be a free kick going to Cook. He looks up. He's got space in front of him there, Walter. He bodies on. And then he gets his hands to 1-2. Continental with a handball up to Mikulowski. Mikulowski's kick goes out wide. It's untoward and through for a boundary throw-in.
Once again, 2 plays to beat Walter, didn't he? It's going to be hard. It's been a hard day for him, but he's still had an impact.
Well, he's kicked 100 goals for the season, so if I'm coach Dylan Huxley, I'm almost putting 3 blokes on him. Monks, who's battled manfully all day, gets the push in the back. Umpire says no, we'll ball it up. Continen's up. Hands over the footy. Umpire's letting it go. No, he'll ball it up right on the paint of 50.
They've made some changes. Let's come onto the ball. There he is, just on the closest to us. Monk has runked all day, hasn't he?
Yep. Again, the breeze has just died off a little bit here now, Peach. I'm using that gum tree up on the hill here as my windsock.
I don't think many meteorologists would just use a random gum tree out the window for
but I'm saying if I consistently use that gum tree...
You've got a reference point when it blows, have you? At a certain angle.
Right. Yeah. So ball in again. Monks and Clark, they battered all day. Went and got it, did Monk. Sometimes I forget to put the S on.
I've forgotten a couple of times. I apologise. We're calling him short here, Monks. We're removing one of his letters.
The recipient of the free kick.
coming back?
I hope so. The lid sends it long. Flying at the back. Walter tried hard. Bantic at the bottom of the pack, got his handball out wide. Here's a chance now for Clark. Bending one around the corner. No, it's just in for a behind. Kicked a couple of behinds, Tommy Clark.
A lot of pressure on there, wasn't there, to get that kick away?
There was. Short ones on here, Michalowski.
So Michalowski deep, just in the shadows, the Doug place to stand. 10 degrees off, they say. Wooters just grabbed it and knocked the ball back to Fletcher. Wooters gets it back. He twists and turns and finds an avenue around. Hobart with the place. I'll be holding the football, and he'd be disappointed with that. And Hobart can stream back off here and get an early goal. Give them something. Smith up. Couldn't get it. Now it falls to the ground. Cohen misses him. Now it's been picked by Murphy. And he's been stung again. That's the second time that umpire's called that tackle.
Same bloke against too, Matt Fletcher.
So Hobart, and there's a push. There's going to be a free kick here. He's given it away the other way. So how's this? Elijah Cohen has been at it for 10 minutes, and he's got one to fall his way. And now it's going to be down back where it came from. So Murphy was bringing the ball forward for Hobart on centre wing, and now it's been reversed in that same spot, and it's Fletcher with a short kick. Hobart with the numbers around the back. It's being picked up here by Michalowski. It's a very high ball. Cohen at the back got his fist to it, win the football. Beswick going in for Hobart. Now the ball's been worked up to one-on-one. That's great footy from Hobart. Good pressure from them. They've actually drifted and pushed their forwards a little bit further up the field, and Donovan's within, maybe just choose within kicking range.
Yeah, I think if he hangs it out here to the right goalpost.
This is a massive moment, isn't it? Like this,
huge.
This gets it close to 2 goals and a little bit, a change.
Gets it to exactly 2 goals.
Apologies, it is. Will be 2 goals. No change. Well, there's no change to left post these days, isn't it? So Donovan for Hobart to give them some minor chance into the breeze, and it may have even dropped according to Tubes' eucalyptus just up on the hill. His kick is going left, it's staying left, and it's a minor score, and it really hasn't helped them.
Handy point.
They'd prefer a handy goal, though, wouldn't they?
They'd love a handy goal.
So Hobart are pressing here. They've actually moved up their forwards.
Gee, that's a good kick.
Yeah, and taken by Brereton. Brereton gets it quickly on towards Kelly. Kelly will go short. This is really good from the Storm. The Storm are away, up towards the half forward. Walter! Lovely football.
Coast to coast.
Did not touch the grass, did not look like touching a Hobart player, and it's found Walter in probably the best spot to kick. And there is the lead from Walter, and a pretty comfortable mark. Such a good
He knows his game so well, Cam.
And so
Walter.
does everyone else as well. So Walter to respond and push it out for the Storm, and is that making it a little bit too hard for Hobart?
Well, that's a what is it?
One of the
almost
names.
a 2-goal play, really, from coast to coast there. That was beautiful.
So
The
shot.
I'm not sure who was kicking out from full back, because it went straight down Brereton straight.
Yeah, I saw Brereton get it. So Donovan's missed shot, and here's the replay again. And into the spot. It's a very effective kick. So the Donovan shot misses, kick comes out, and suddenly the ball's in the middle of the ground within probably 5 to 6 seconds and in the hands of Walter. And it's again, we see his competency with set shots, and a goal for him.
Back in the middle. Ruck contest, 1 down. Continenza can't quite get his hands on the footy. He got taken out by Cook. Umpire missed it. Hold off the footy. No, it's going to be a throw. So it'll go the way of the Tigers. They need to get motoring. They need 4 goals in a hot minute. Down towards the forwards. Nice fist from behind from Ethan Lovell. Again, he went and got a second fist. Those little 1%ers. Rawnsley against Beswick. Rawnsley does well. Gets it off to Cohen. Cohen strong out to Wooters. Or it might be Brereton. Handball came inboard. Clark, I think it is, that kicks it long. Michalowski, who's battled manfully all day for the Tigers. If he looks out to his right, he's got someone on the other side of the ground.
Curran's
the short
been out
one's
here the
on.
whole time in screaming for the footy, but they're not prepared to risk it.
Wiggins. We need to risk it if you're going to get the ball from coast to coast. That kicks a low percentage, and Rosny reads the ball so well. Named as an emergency in the senior grand final too, Peach. Because that one
I reckon there might have been a bit of thought
bounds.
about putting Rosny in, actually, but he's been good today. He's certainly been the top couple, and his ability, once again, to control the narrative in the back half, which they predominantly have too, even though Hobart have hung on, has been outstanding.
Ball in again. Quick kick forward. Gee, it's chopped off there by Fletcher. He's going to get it back here, Fletch. No. Tigers all around the footy. Continenza with a rushed kick. It's so rushed that it's out of bounds on the full. So Rosny will take the kick. Short one's on. Finds a man short. Wooters through the fingertips of Clark, out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Crowd sort of out of it now a little bit,
Yeah,
Peach.
they are. It might be a really smart play. I don't think it's dangerous when you've got the breezes, just to suck a bit of energy out of this game and control the ball, the Southern Storm. They can actually use it, get a few stoppages, be a bit messy for a while, maybe even go laterally or backwards with their ball movement, and take some time off the clock just to ensure that Hobart don't get any momentum at all.
Oh, gee, I love the way Bastick goes about it. Fletcher too. He got his handball away. It was a great tackle from the Tigers.
There's a lot of these boys you could feel could move up, couldn't you, to senior footy?
Oh, well, we saw it last year. We saw last year for the Southern Storm. Bastick played in the grand final.
I was thinking Bastick.
Elijah Cohen and Cody Rosny have had chances, but even through Hobart, Continenza's played a lot of senior footy. Monks has played senior footy. Mikulowski, Aliff, Quinn, they've all played some senior footy.
Well, they're going to be quick on here. There was some pressure being applied. Now it's to Lovell. That's okay. Now, I'm assuming this is a miss. The umpire's not going to call this deliberate because he shanked that kick. And that's a great call from the umpire because he certainly was looking to pass the footy but missed his target by about 30 metres.
Gee, they've been good today, the umpires.
Brilliant.
They've been sensational.
Community footy umpires are outstanding. Obviously some stuff in the media down here last week, but yeah, no, fantastic. Clark looked for a teammate. Didn't necessarily find one, and all he did was found Cruin. He's really trying hard, Cruin, to try and navigate his way through. Slips through the hands of Lawless. It's just worked out towards centre wing. Reaching down, he nearly took his head off with Reed. He put his head where other players don't. Continenza
I'll tell you
grappling
what,
for the footy and
sorry,
over hold up.
Cut you off there, Peach. Lockie Carmichael there went so hard at the footy, but before that he was strong in a tackle. Someone had him wrapped up and he was strong and got his handball out. And he's just been great to watch today.
Yeah, and the bottom is Ryan Clark, the ruckman, and he'll get up and hand it back. Yeah, Carmichael. It's going to be a tough one to get a feel for who might be the best and most influential player. Bastick, high ball from him. Gains the metre. That's a good mark from Cook. That was fantastic. Just fell. Cook's got a player over the top. Both the attacker and defender. Walter. That's a CLO.
4 goals in a grand final for D'Artagnan.
Bantick's P then into that contest. We'll have a look here in a few moments just on the replay, but his ability to keep momentum into the contest. Walter again gets the ball to the ground. Here it is. So it's a really clever kick from Cook. Here's the speed. I mean, yeah, it bounced into his hands. Walter took a defender away. That's just a fabulous bit of footy. And the Storm now 8-7 to 4-2. It's feel like that's it. It's probably there.
Game over, you reckon, Peach?
I think it's there. I think it's there.
I think the cup will be going the Storm's way, which after a sensational season from the boys in the Southern Storm, Coach Kui Doreen will be absolutely stoked.
The question chooses how do the other teams in the Colts get a little bit closer here to the Storm?
Well,
because they're now winning grand finals, but they keep making them as well. And their metrics, their population numbers aren't necessarily big. They're not bigger than Brighton or Sorrel, for instance.
No, I think it's just the club atmosphere. Other clubs need to potentially look at
so it's this retention of players. They can keep players.
And they create an environment where not only kids want to go, but adults want to go, partners want to go, and Walter again. Gee, he just that last 5 metres,
He's just quick,
he
isn't he?
can just get to the footy because there's no way Tubes Taylor's getting to that footy.
Well, not at late, close to 40 Tubes Taylor.
Unbelievable.
A 21-year-old Tubes Taylor would have got that.
No way. Not even at 18 when I was at my fittest would I've got there. In comes Cam Wilder. Jeez,
That's close.
Delicious kick, isn't he?
Oh,
on
it's
the
actually
line.
blow the whistle here. It's a push up too high, so it's a monk's free kick.
Yeah.
Good kick,
No
wasn't it?
score.
He's always low with his kicks, which is nothing wrong with that. He'll get more strength as he gets older, Wilder, and he'll be dobbing them.
That was a beautiful kick.
And it's such a clever because he got it left to right. Hard to do.
Monks to bring the ball out. Wood is at the back. No, it goes through his fingertips, and Michalowski just a kick in hope. Only person out there running at the footy is Ethan Lovell. Ball just sits just inside the line, gets a nice shepherd. Back to Cohen. Cohen with a short one on to Wooters, arriving late. That's smart stuff from Murfitt. Murfitt wheels around and sends it long inside forward 50. Smith, strong hands.
A couple of times Smith looked capable of taking those marks. It was good delivery.
7 minutes to go in this term. They need 4 goals at least. They need 5 to win it.
Look at this mark. Here it is. A ripper.
In he comes.
Oh,
It's a little helicopter punt. And the Storm relentless in their desire to not let the Tigers score. The kick came out from Brereton. It's marked by the Tigers. Short one on Cohen. Continenza smart. G gets through 1-2 and he hits towards goal. Through for behind. Just hearing now on the Twitter sphere at Tubes if you're out there, from David Moore. G'day Dave, watching from up in Launceston. He thinks that the Kingborough Tigers not having an under-18 side might have strengthened the Storm this year. Well, that's true, Dave. He's a smart man, Mr. Moore.
I'd say, Dave, you might partly on the money, but I reckon most of those kids have actually moved out of the club a couple of years ago. They're actually probably playing for Sandy Bay and some of those other teams, but could be the case. That's 50.
So Fletcher's going to get a chance to have a shot on goal.
So once
Some
again,
very interesting stuff coming through on Twitter.
once again, the shot on goal down the other end,
Coast to
it
coast.
gets missed, and then it gets down back this end, and it's going to be a goal.
Fletcher gets his name in the paper. I dare say he'll be in there twice because he's been very, very good all day. Big Matty Fletcher.
Not for being arrested after the celebrations for best player as well, you're suggesting?
I think he's going to be definitely named in the
I
best.
think so. Yeah, quite first quarter from Fletcher, but
I thought his whole game's
his
been
next
great.
3 quarters have been really consistent. Uses the ball well, doesn't he, Fletcher?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think if the game wasn't iced before that goal, it certainly is now. Now they're putting sprinkles, they're decorating.
Do you decorate ice?
Yeah.
Is it you confusing between a cake and ice?
No, icing and cake.
Oh, cake icing. Oh, right, not
Cake
ice.
is iced.
Not ice. Right.
No, I like drinking with a
Not ice you put on your champagne. No drinking for these guys.
quick kick forward by Cook as a helicopter comes across the top of North Hobart Oval. Nice tackle again. Somehow it stays in. Now it's out of bounds. We're right in the flight path to the Royal Hobart Hospital helicopter pad here, Peach.
You can actually see them land these days too.
I think we're going to get a good look at it now as the chopper comes over the top of us here somewhere. You can hear it. Maybe a scenic flight. Monks with handball out. It's good stuff there by Doreen. Kick to a hot spot, punched away by the Tigers' defence. Good stuff from Murfitt. Punched away, nicely done. Well, here he is. He's got arguments for best on ground, I think, Cohen.
You could debate that very much so.
Not sure who's choosing it, but whoever is going to put their name to choosing the best on's got a hard job because there's been players all over the field.
I'll tell you what, Wooters is going to try and get a goal. I know he's off the ground at the moment. He'll sniff out a goal, Wooters.
Wooters has been good. He goes out wide to my man, Cody Ronsley. Ronsley goes further afield, and I like this. Clark waits for it, then waits for Jones to sell Candy, and that's a smart kick. And here he is again. D'Artagnan Bastic. Right on his distance here, I reckon, Peach.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a setup. There it is. So he's gone short. That's a clever option from Bastic.
Clark, I think, the ruckman.
He's tracked back. He's actually not. He's covering the ground well at the moment, Clark. And Clark's got one of those old-fashioned country mullets too. None of this fancy stuff. I went to the hairdresser. I went to a very trendy one just in Launceston. All these kids came in for what I call the 3-minute mullet. It's how long it takes to kick, or I should say to shave it. That's stuck in by Clark. You'd love that. Ryan Clark with a goal, and the Storm, it's party time.
Well, yeah, the lid is off at the Southern Storm.
There's ice, there's sprinkles, there's lids. It's a very complicated celebration.
Flick the candles on, start lighting them up. The Southern Storm 10-7-67, Hobart 4-3-27.
Little skip, what do you call that, the overlocker, don't you?
Yeah, I like the overlocker.
All right, so last few minutes of this grand final. Tubes and I both put our thumbs up for the best player on the ground, but we won't share that.
I'm not sure who chooses it, but we might be on the money.
Can we choose it? We'll be on it. So anyway, Muggs gets his hand to it. It's bashed away by Bantic. Hobart to make maybe one last charge and try and get involved. Shaw misses that one. There's some dash from Rawnsley. His kick's really effective. The Storm would love maybe a late goal here, and that could be their opportunity. That could be a sling tackle. No, great call by the umpire. His head didn't hit the ground, and Bantic's got it. He's looking for a Walter Lee. There it comes. He's got a player in front of him, but it won't matter. Oh, he's missed the footy. Goes back and lays a tackle. Several players just converging on the football. Salter in there. He can't get it. Clash of heads as the Hobart player gets bumped off. The tackle by Carmichael. And he wins a free kick as Carmichael. And he'll be having a shot for goal. And I can tell you, Tubes, Carmichael's been...
He's been really good.
Engaged throughout, and he was the tone setter. So Carmichael, with only moments left here in the grand final in the Colts, he's going to go short. Mugson's in best position. It Steele's in the pocket, and eventually it's rushed through for a minor score, and the Storm move out to 10-8 to 4-3 here, as it's been a wonderful day here for the Southern Storm. Now Tubes has given me someone else for best on, mate. You've got to be just...
No,
go.
We're not choosing it. We just have the...
Well, we could choose. There's a barrel out towards half-back.
We're just having a discussion about it, because we're tossing around a couple of names. I'm thinking Carmichael, Cohen, Bantic.
There's two for
Bastic,
me. There's two for me that are... Two standouts for me.
All right.
Two standouts for me. One that's played off half-back for most of the day.
Yep.
And I think we're probably choosing him first. The Spencer goes to the ground, and that's the noise. It's a win for the Southern Storm. And their players come onto the ground, including a 4-year-old. And the Storm have done it. They've only lost the one game for the year. And in the end, a pretty comprehensive victory here in the 2021 SFL Colts Grand Final.
Yes, the Storm run out victors 10-8-68 to Hobart 4-3-27. Goal kickers for the Storm. Well, it was 4 to D'Artagnan Bantic, 3 to Cam Walter, 1 to Murray Bastic, Ryan Clark and Matt Fletcher with 1 apiece for the Hobart Tigers. It was Monks, Michalowski, Wiggins and Piercy who all kicked goals. Now, Peach, I'm going to head down boundary side, okay? You're going to tell us and walk us through your best players, and I'm going to try and get some interviews with some of the champions from the Southern Storm. Congratulations to them. They run out Banjos, Rosny, SFL Colts, premiership players for season 2021.
Well, the celebrations are on full swing here as the first grand final's done, as the Southern Storm, with the best logo in football in Tasmania, with the power and the Robin of Commandy. They've won 10-8 to 4-3, thanks to LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property and to Rosny Banjos for letting us bring the coverage here of the SFL Grand Finals. So we're 1 in and 1 to the team from south of the Saddle in the beautiful part of the world in Cygnet. And it'll be party time for these boys. They came in red-hot favourites. They defeated Hobart comfortably throughout the season, and in the grand final they had to fight very, very hard. We'll just go through some of the better players. Firstly, for Hobart, Continenza, I thought, was competitive, particularly in that second half. He never really quite got the space that he needed. Monks in the ruck was outstanding and also popped through and kicked a goal. Mikulowski tried hard and he didn't give up. Dane Ayliffe had a frustrating game of football, but in many ways he was still important. Beswick came on and did a few decent things, and Connor Percy and Quinn early on, you felt if they could get some goals going, and potentially they had a chance, Hobart, but in the end it was the middle of the ground of Carmichael from the Storm. Bastic as well was outstanding. Wooters on the outside of so many packs was competitive. Ryan Clark in the ruck competed extremely competently against a very big and probably much stronger David Monks. And down back for me, the best player, I think, on the ground, and the player who set it up was Elijah Cohen, along with Cody Ransley. But I think Cohen's work and Fletcher, there were so many good players, but we're going to go down and have a look at some of the presentations as the Storm players are celebrating a grand final victory here. 10-8-68 to Hobart, 4-3-27 here at North Hobart.
Not sure if you've got out there, Peach, but I'm down here with Kane Wooters.
Oh.
Kane, how does that feel, mate? You're a captain of a premiership side.
Yeah, no, obviously feels great, as I'm sure you can tell by the boys' reactions. Chance to be a premiership captain, also going back-to-back doesn't come around very often for anyone. So to celebrate it with these boys here, it means the world, And also to Hobart, it's been a great contest every time we've versed them this year. So
A huge contest for you boys out there too, and it was hard in early too. I think the endeavour of both sides was intense, mate. How did you see it out there on the ground?
no, it was definitely hot footy, very contested. But yeah, we like I said before, we stuck to our guns to the boys. Stick to our guns, keep playing that contested brand if we've played all year, and just trust the system because it's worked all year, so why change it now? So.
Bantic, Bastic were excellent, mate, as yourself, and Elijah Cohen off the half-back line was terrific.
Yeah, look, Murray and Dard, I don't know how they do it, crash and bash every week. But yeah, I think those three been my three for today, yeah.
Back-to-back premiers for the Southern Storm, Kane. Congratulations, mate, and all the best for the rest of the... the night. The night's going to be a big one.
Yeah, no doubt. The next 3 days will be pretty good, but the boys have earned it, so let's celebrate.
All right, we'll cross over now. Congratulations, Kane. We'll cross over now to Brent Costello for the presentations.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the presentations for the SFL Colts Grand Final. Congratulations to the Southern Storm Premiers for 2021. Put your hands together for a fantastic effort, a fantastic season. Before we move on to congratulations to the Hobart Footy Club, an unbelievable season, guys. Well done. I'm sure you'll be back bigger and better next year. Put your hands together for Hobart as well. It's now my pleasure to welcome Southern Regional Manager Andy Bennett from AFL Tasmania to come forward to present the VA Geared Medal for Best on Ground in the Grand Final, which has been won by number 15, Elijah Cohen of the Southern Storm. Congratulations, Elijah. Well done. It's now my great pleasure to welcome the President of the SFL, Russell Young, to present the Premiership Medallions for 2021 to the Southern Storm players. Starting with number 25, D'Artagnan Barwick. Number 8, Murray Bastic. Number 20, Ambrose Burton. Number 5, Lockie Carmichael. Number 18, Ryan Clark. Number 14, Thomas Clark. Number 7, Lachlan Cook. Our best on ground, number 15, Elijah Cullen. Number 19, Matthew Doreen. Number 22, Jonty Fay. Number 35, Matthew Fletcher. Number 21, Lachlan Innes. Number 3, Sam Kelly. Number 26, Brad Lawless. Number 10, Ethan Lovell. Number 16, Cody Rawnsley. Number 6, Oliver Salter. Number 27, Noah Scott. Number 4, Alexander Timbas. A special mention for this next man who kicked 100 goals this season, number 11, Cameron Walter. Number 2, Jaden Bulno. And finally, number 13, the captain, Kane Wooters. And the coach, too, of the Southern Storm, Clinton Doreen. It's now my great pleasure to ask Andy Bennett to hand over the Colts Premiership Cup to the captain and coach of the Southern Storm, our premiers for 2021 in the SFL.
So there we go, the premiers for season 2021, the Banjos, Rosny, SFL Colts, premiers the Southern Storm. Doreen, Coach Doreen and Captain Kane Wooters doing an incredible job there to get their charges across the line. It was a closer margin than I thought it was going to be, Peach.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly was in the end. 68 to 27 was the score in the end. But there are the Storm and their flags celebrating. And a lot of these guys are a little older than, this is the only under-19 comp left in Tasmania. All the other comps are obviously 18s. And so maybe they are allowed to have a frothy somewhere just to celebrate. I can tell you what, they will be the noisiest group by 2:30 when the Signet boys run out in the ground. And there's Clark celebrating his wonderful job, but really deserved best on ground, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought that he set the tempo down there in his ball use and his ability to read the play, Elijah Cohen.
He made players better from his ball use and ability to, absolutely read the play.
The only other player that probably would have been in the same stratosphere as him was D'Artagnan Bantic, who attacked the footy really hard around the positions, around the ground rather, and got
maybe
into
if
the right
Carmichael's
spot.
use had been a little bit better, he might have been in there, but he was still fantastic.
I also
as well.
think Ryan Clark was up there too.
Just says something about their team. showing, doesn't it, Tubes, how many good players that they've got at the top end. Really, that was the difference, wasn't it? Their top end players were outstanding. Great game of footy, though.
Great game of footy. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, but before we get across to the reserves grand final, which is coming up next, repeating the Southern Storm run-out victors 10-8-68 to Hobart 4-3-27. It'll be a victory for back-to-back premiers, the Southern Storm. My name is Tubes Taylor. Thank you very much, Peach. Of course, thanks to Andrew Harcourt down in the button van. And of course, Adam Rybell up on... he's a cameraman too, he does everything. And Adam Rybell up on the top camera. My name's, as I said, Tubes Taylor, and Peachy Roberts will be back with you for the reserves grand final in just a few moments. Until then, take care. Bye for now.